Archie Bunker lives like tomorrow is guaranteed, not because he's reckless, but because certainty is his comfort food. He likes the world simple. A man works, a man eats, a man complains, and life keeps rolling forward like it always has. He doesn't want to think about limits, physical limits, time limits, the kind of invisible countdown that everyone carries but nobody wants to see. That's why the most harmless-looking thing in the room becomes a threat. Edith, sitting at home, flipping through a magazine, taking a life expectancy quiz for fun. To Edith, it's a curiosity. To Archie, it's a challenge. The moment he hears what it is, he laughs in that sharp, dismissive way he uses to crush anything that feels too modern, too expert, too smug. He calls it foolishness. He mocks the idea that a quiz could predict anything. But then Edith begins reading the questions aloud, and Archie's attention locks in. Because while Archie refuses to respect the quiz, he can't resist the premise that it might be measuring him. He can't resist the chance to prove he's tougher than whatever scientists and magazine writers think. That's the first irony. Archie doesn't believe in the quiz, yet he starts answering it like he's fighting for his reputation. How much do you exercise? Do you smoke? How often do you drink? Do you get angry? Are you stressed? Archie argues with the wording. He argues with the logic. He argues with the concept of stress, as if stress is something that happens to other people. He frames himself as a victim of everyone else's foolishness, not as someone whose habits might actually carry consequences. Every question becomes a mini battle where Archie tries to win by talking louder. Edith stays gentle and patient, reading carefully. Gloria watches with a mix of amusement and concern, because she can see what Archie refuses to admit. This is getting under his skin. When Edith totals the results, the room shifts. Archie expects a number that confirms what he wants to believe, that he's built to last. Instead, he gets a number that suggests he might not. It isn't just lower than Edith. It's lower than Archie's ego can tolerate. And suddenly his mocking tone turns into something else, panic disguised as fury. Archie doesn't sit down and quietly reflect. He explodes. He treats the quiz like an insult. He accuses the magazine of lying. He implies the whole thing is a scam. He snaps at Edith for even bringing it up, as if her curiosity is what threatened him rather than the idea of time itself. Gloria tries to tease him out of it, but her teasing only makes him more defensive. The more people react, the more Archie feels trapped. And the more trapped he feels, the louder he becomes. Because Archie's survival mechanism is simple. If he can dominate the room, he can dominate the fear. But fear doesn't care about volume. Archie becomes obsessed with the result. He starts talking like his life has been shortened by paperwork. He complains about experts who don't know him. He acts as if his body is being judged unfairly. He begins doing that classic Archie move, turning a personal crisis into a cultural grievance. He doesn't just say, "I'm scared." He says, "Look at what they're doing to people like me." He tries to make his anxiety feel like righteous anger, because righteous anger is a feeling he knows how to handle. Edith tries to soothe him. She says it's only a quiz. She reminds him people live longer than predictions. She offers comfort in her soft, loyal way. But Archie can't accept comfort if it requires admitting vulnerability. He wants a solution that restores his pride without forcing him to face reality. Gloria, seeing her father unravel, decides to give him exactly that. She quietly rechecks the scoring and finds an error. She produces a revised result that gives Archie more years. It's a small deception with a huge effect. The moment Archie hears it, he transforms. His face relaxes. His voice brightens. He becomes celebratory, hungry, almost energized. He demands food as if he's just escaped disaster. It's ridiculous and revealing at the same time. Archie didn't need medicine. He needed reassurance. A number fixed him faster than any lifestyle change ever could. And in that transformation lies the episode's hidden truth. Archie doesn't live by facts. He lives by feelings. If the feeling is, "I'm safe," he's fine. If the feeling is, "I'm not," he becomes a storm. That storm carries into the next conflict. Edith's family wedding trip to Scranton. Edith wants Archie to come because in her mind, Marriage means showing up together, facing family together, standing side by side, even when it's inconvenient. Archie refuses. Not politely, not with regret. He refuses like the event is beneath him. He complains about weddings. He complains about travel. He complains about relatives. He complains about spending time in a place where he doesn't feel in control. Gloria is furious because she understands what Archie refuses to see. This isn't about Archie being bored for a weekend. It's about Edith being publicly alone. It's about Edith answering questions from family members with that tight little smile that tries to hide disappointment. Archie, of course, declares the matter closed. He treats Edith's feelings like optional background noise. Edith leaves without him. In Scranton, Edith steps into a world of relatives and old memories. The environment is busy, emotional, and full of the small pressures that come with weddings. Nervous family members, last-minute chaos, the bride's anxiety, and the intense social energy that makes every interaction feel bigger than it is. Edith does what Edith always does. She helps. She steadies people. She offers comfort. She becomes the quiet glue holding small moments together. But Archie's absence follows her like a shadow. People ask where he is. Edith answers carefully, protecting him even while he's failing her. She doesn't call him selfish. She doesn't call him rude. She tries to make it sound harmless, like a scheduling issue, like a practical choice. But in a family setting, everyone can read between the lines. Edith's gentleness makes Archie's absence more obvious, not less. Back at home, Archie thinks he's enjoying freedom, but the reality is he's uncomfortable. Not because he misses Scranton, not because he suddenly becomes sentimental. He's uncomfortable because he knows people are talking about him, and Archie hates being the subject of a story he can't control. He hates the idea of being judged. He hates that Edith is standing there taking the social weight for a decision he made purely out of stubbornness. He reacts the way he always does when guilt gets close. He complains. He gets irritated at phone calls. He grumbles about relatives. He acts like he's the victim of everyone else's expectations. Yet the irritation reveals the truth. The judgment is reaching him. It's hitting the one place where Archie is secretly sensitive, his image. At the same time, another storyline quietly builds the perfect comedic trap. Gloria and Mike want to move out. They're tired of living under Archie's roof, and they crave independence. But independence costs money, and their search is full of compromises. They find a rental that looks surprisingly affordable, and Archie becomes aggressively enthusiastic. He pushes them to take it immediately. He insists it's a bargain. He steamrolls Mike's caution. He fuels Gloria's excitement. His motivation is obvious. He wants them gone, and he wants the satisfaction of being right about the deal. Then comes the punchline the universe has been saving. The deal is the Jeffersons' old place. The irony is sharp. Archie thinks he's pushing Gloria and Mike away from his daily life, but he has actually set up a new version of the same neighborhood entanglement. He doesn't escape the familiar social friction. He rearranges it. Archie, who always believes he can force the world to cooperate with his preferences, is once again trapped by his own insistence. The thing he wanted, peace at home, comes with a new problem. The people he loves are now living in a place that carries old rivalries and old history, and Archie's world is about to stay complicated whether he likes it or not. And when you look at these episodes together, the pattern becomes clear. Archie panics when time feels uncertain, then calms down when he's given reassurance. Archie refuses a wedding to avoid discomfort, then becomes uneasy when the social consequences reach him. Archie tries to push his family into new decisions, then ends up stuck with unintended results. It's comedy, yes, but it's also a portrait of a man who fights vulnerability at every turn, and a family that keeps absorbing the impact. Edith doesn't win by overpowering Archie. She survives by staying gentle. Gloria doesn't protect the household by being quiet. She protects it by intervening, sometimes even bending the truth if it stabilizes the people she loves. Mike pushes logic because he believes people should change, even when change is uncomfortable. And Archie remains Archie. Loud, stubborn, scared underneath, and constantly trying to control the world so he doesn't have to admit how little control anyone really has. That's the hidden heart of it. The quiz, the wedding, the move, 3 different scenarios, 1 repeating truth. Archie can deny reality all he wants, but reality keeps finding ways to knock on the door.